What if everything you were taught about money, success, and freedom was wrong? What if the path you were told to follow, go to school, get a job, save, retire, was never meant to make you wealthy or free? This is the Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco, and in this chapter, we uncover the first truth. You've been sold a system, but that system is slow, risky, and designed to benefit everyone except you. It's time to wake up. This episode, I will break through focused on the book of The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. Each episode will include deep principles explanation, real-life modern-day examples, both struggling and successful cases, practical steps to shift from sidewalk, slow lane to fast lane summary with mindset shifts and action prompts. Let's. Analysis from Chapter 1. The great deception: most people follow the same script. Graduate from school, find a steady job, save a portion of your income, invest in mutual funds, and hopefully retire rich when you're 65 or older. This is called the slow lane. But MJ DeMarco calls it something else: the great deception. Why? Because even if it works, it trades the best years of your life for a retirement that may never come. It sacrifices your time, your energy, and your freedom, all for a maybe in the future. Let's stop here and ask the real question. What is wealth? Wealth is not just money. It's time. It's freedom. It's the ability to choose. Choose how you spend your day. Choose who you spend it with. Choose where you go and when you stop. Money is only valuable when it gives you time and options. The slow lane model tells you to wait for decades, but what happens when the market crashes? When inflation eats your savings? When your job becomes unstable? That entire plan collapses and your freedom disappears. This isn't just slow, it's dangerous. Let's look at Nina. She's 29, single, and works in digital marketing. She followed the plan. Good degree, decent salary, retirement fund, minimal spending. She dreams of starting her own skincare brand, but by the time she gets home, she's exhausted. Her job drains her. She tells herself, maybe one day, when I have more saved, I'll do it. But one day never comes. She's laid off. Suddenly, everything she built is in someone else's hands. Nina played it safe. She did what she was told, and yet she ended up with no job, no brand, and no freedom. What Nina needed wasn't a better boss. She needed ownership. She needed to start building something that couldn't be taken away. Something scalable. Something hers. The fast lane doesn't mean quitting your job today. It means starting your own path now. Let's practice in today's life through this example. I will show you how James Hughes apply this concept. He's 42, married, 2 kids, been working the same job for over a decade. He's making good money. He's providing for his family, but he's always tired. He misses soccer games, cancels vacations, skips date nights. He tells himself, this is just how it is. I'll rest later. But time doesn't wait. His kids grow up. His wife grows distant. His health declines. And retirement still feels far away. James is stuck in the slow lane, not because he's lazy, but because he believed in a plan that doesn't value time, freedom, or balance. What could James do? Start a side business. Build a local service. Turn a skill into income. Replace hours with assets. The fast lane is not just for the young. It's for anyone willing to reclaim their time now. Let's make this clear. The slow lane is not just slow. It's uncertain. It's outside your control. It depends on the market, the economy, your boss, your health. It gives you no ownership. It demands your life now and only offers a small chance of freedom decades later. But the fast lane? It's not about gambling. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about creating systems that serve others, even when you're asleep. It's about building value once and getting paid over and over again. The fast lane is about freedom, not someday, but now. Let's review what you just learned. You were sold the great deception, a path that sacrifices your time, your energy, and your freedom for a future that may never come. Wealth is not about money. It's about time. And the only way to reclaim your time is to step off the slow lane. You don't have to quit your job today, but you must stop waiting for permission to build your dream. Start creating. Start solving problems. Start thinking like a producer, not just a consumer. This is how freedom is built. This is how the fast lane begins. Ask yourself these 3 questions. First, what lie about money have you believed for most of your life? Second, if freedom was your goal, not retirement, what would you do differently starting this week? And third, what do you already know or do that could serve others and create value? You are not stuck. You are not too late. You're simply ready to change. Continue to Chapter 2. How the rich really get rich. You see them everywhere. Wealthy people with freedom, luxury, and time. They travel. They build. They create. And the question most people ask is, how did they do it? Most assume it was luck, inheritance, a high-paying job. But the truth is far more strategic. In Chapter 2 of the Millionaire Fastlane, MJ DeMarco shows us the difference between what we think makes people rich and what actually does. Let's break it down. Core concept of this book is that most people believe the rich get rich by having a great job, saving diligently, investing in the stock market, climbing the corporate ladder, getting lucky, but that's not the common path among real self-made millionaires. DeMarco's message is clear. The rich don't trade time for money. They build systems that create value at scale. They stop being consumers and become creators. They don't wait for retirement to live freely. They build fast-lane businesses that create exponential income. The fast lane isn't about spending less. It's about earning in ways that are scalable, autonomous, and controllable. Real-life example. Single woman in today's world. Let's talk about Alexis. She's 33, single, working in corporate HR. She makes a decent salary, contributes to her 401k, and budgets well. But her lifestyle depends on one thing: her job. She sees influencers on YouTube, digital coaches, and online. Sellers making more money in a month than she makes in a year. She wonders, did they get lucky? Or am I doing something wrong? Here's what Alexis is missing. She's trading time for money. They're trading value for freedom. While Alexis earns a paycheck, others are selling digital products, running subscription services, or automating e-commerce. They've removed time from the income equation. What could she do? She could turn her HR knowledge into a digital course. She could coach others on resumes, job changes, or interview prep. She could sell once and deliver forever. That's the fast lane. In action. Real-life example. Married father with limited time. Now meet David. He's 45, married with 2 kids and a mortgage. He's convinced that entrepreneurship is for the young or the lucky. He works full-time as a project manager. He believes his path is fixed. But here's the shift. David loves woodworking. On weekends, he builds beautiful, functional pieces. One day, he films a tutorial and posts it online. The views climb. The comments roll in. Soon, he sells downloadable plans for $10 each. He starts getting sales while sleeping. He packages his best plans into a $49 digital bundle. He builds a YouTube audience and offers one-on-one coaching for hobbyists. And suddenly, he has income that doesn't depend on his job or hours worked. This is not luck. This is fast lane thinking, using what you know to serve people at scale. Breakthrough. Moment. Here's the shift. The rich don't get rich by playing the same game as everyone else. They play a different game with different rules. They understand that wealth is not created by saving pennies. Wealth is not dependent on the stock market. Wealth is built by owning the road, not riding on it. They build systems. They solve problems. They sell solutions, and they don't wait decades to be free. You don't need to be famous. You don't need millions to start. You just need a mindset shift. You don't get rich by working more hours. You get rich by changing how you earn money. Let's summarize what you've learned. The rich don't rely on jobs. They rely on leverage, systems, and control. They don't invest in hope. They invest in scalable value. They don't save for someday. They build for freedom today. If you want to enter the fast lane, you must stop being a consumer and start becoming a producer. Your time is limited. Your income shouldn't be. Let's reflect with 3 questions. Number 1. How is your income currently tied to your time? Number 2. What do you know, love, or solve that could be turned into a product, a service, or a system? Number 3. What's stopping you from starting right now? The answer may not be a lack of money. It may be the belief that you're not ready. But you are. Freedom doesn't start with funding. It starts with a decision. This was Chapter 2 of the Millionaire Fastlane. You've seen how the rich really get rich. Not by saving for 40 years, but by building something that works while they rest. In Chapter 3, we'll go deeper into the sidewalk, the slow lane, and the fast lane, and how to know exactly which path you're on right now. Subscribe, follow along, and get ready. Your fast lane starts today. Chapter 4. The Road Trip to Wealth. Let me ask you something. If building wealth was a road trip, would you know what vehicle you're in? Would you know where you're headed? And more importantly, do you even have a map? In this chapter, MJ DeMarco talks about something powerful. He compares the journey to wealth with a real road trip. And honestly, it makes so much sense. So let me walk you through it. By the end of this, you'll see exactly where you're sitting on your financial journey and what needs to change if you want to stop driving in circles. Think of your wealth journey like an actual road trip. To get anywhere, you need 5 key things. Let's list them out, nice and easy. First, you need a destination. Where are you going? What does wealth actually look like to you? Because if you don't define it, how will you know when you've arrived? Second, you need a roadmap. This is the plan, the path, the method. Are you following the sidewalk, the slow lane, or the fast lane? Third, you need a vehicle. That's you. Your skills, your mindset, your habits. It doesn't matter if you have a good map if your car keeps breaking down, so you have to upgrade yourself to make the trip. Fourth, you need fuel. That's your drive, your discipline, your hunger to grow. Without fuel, even the best car sits still. And finally, you need to be aware of roadblocks. These are things like fear, limiting beliefs, bad habits, or people who slow you down. See how clear that becomes? Building wealth isn't just about making money. It's about knowing your route, building the right version of yourself, and driving with purpose. Example. Single woman feeling stuck, now in control. I'll give you an example. Jenna is 35, single, and has bounced from job to job. She keeps trying new side hustles, watches endless YouTube advice, but nothing clicks. One day she realizes she has no defined destination. She's doing a bunch of things, but none of them point to a clear outcome. She's running out of fuel, and honestly, her vehicle, meaning her mindset, is full of self-doubt and fear of failure. So she steps back and makes some changes. She sets a clear financial goal. Build a 10K month design business in 12 months. She writes her own roadmap. Theco weekly content, product launches, and email list building. She invests in her skills, builds better routines, and finally gets serious. 2 months later, she starts making real traction. 6 months later, her first product hits 1,000 sales. And guess what? She's no longer wandering, she's driving. Example. Married couple stuck in survival mode. Now let's talk about Tim and Laura. They're married, 2 kids, and every month feels like survival. Bills, stress, no time, no energy. They have dreams, sure. But the car they're in is beat up. Tim's burned out. Laura's resentful. They're running on fumes, but still trying to build wealth. So what do? They stop pretending. They sit down and actually define what freedom looks like. It's not $1 million. It's time with their kids, a simple online income, and peace of mind. They decide to build a small service business together. He handles operations. She handles marketing. It's messy at first, but now they have a destination, a roadmap, and a shared vehicle. That's what changes everything. Here's the truth. Most people are sitting in traffic without a clue where they're going. They follow what others told them. They never questioned the route, and they wonder why they feel tired, stuck, or lost. But if you're willing to step out of that traffic jam and create your own map, if you're willing to upgrade your skills and mindset, if you're willing to fuel up with discipline and surround yourself with clarity, you can go further in 1 year than most people do in a decade. It's not about being the fastest. It's about knowing exactly where you're going and refusing to stop until you get there. Let's wrap this up. Building wealth is a journey, a road trip. You need a clear destination, a real roadmap, a strong vehicle, consistent fuel, and awareness of what's blocking you. You don't need to have it all figured out today. You just need to stop guessing and start driving with intention. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1. What is your true definition of wealth? Not someone else's, but yours. Number 2. Are you building that life with a clear roadmap, or just hoping to arrive someday? Number 3. What needs to be upgraded? Your skills, your mindset, or your environment? This chapter isn't just a metaphor, it's a mirror. And what you do with it is your decision. So let's keep driving forward. Next up, we're breaking down the sidewalk and how to make sure you're not stuck on it without even knowing. Let's go to Chapter 5, the Sidewalk Roadmap. Let me say this up front. Most people are on the sidewalk and don't even know it. I used to be one of them, living for the next paycheck, hoping something magical would happen, but not really planning for anything long-term. In Chapter 5 of the Millionaire Fastlane, MJ DeMarco introduces the Sidewalk Roadmap. It's the path most people are on, and it's the one that keeps them broke, even if they earn good money. Let's break this down together, and I'll show you exactly how to recognize the sidewalk and what you can do to step off it. The sidewalk isn't about how much money you make. It's about how you manage your money, your mindset, and your future. People on the sidewalk might look successful on the outside. They might drive nice cars, wear designer clothes, and eat at the best places. But the truth is, they live paycheck to paycheck. They spend everything they earn. And sometimes they spend even more. Sidewalkers don't think about tomorrow. Their financial plan is hoping nothing goes wrong. No savings, no investments, no leverage. They chase instant gratification. New gadgets, weekend parties, spontaneous spending. But if something goes wrong, a car repair, a job loss, a medical bill, everything crashes. It's not because they're bad people. It's because they've been taught to measure wealth by what they own, not what they keep. Example 1. Single adult with a good job but zero wealth. Let's talk about Carla. She's 28. She makes good money in tech. Eats out often, loves fashion, and goes on fun trips. Her Instagram looks amazing. But if she lost her job tomorrow, she couldn't cover rent for even a month. That's the sidewalk. No savings, no backup, no freedom. She earns a lot, but spends it all. She's living in the moment, but she's one emergency away from financial panic. What Carla needs isn't more money. She needs a new relationship with money. She needs to understand that wealth isn't about what you post. It's about what you protect. Example 2. Married couple deep in lifestyle debt. Now imagine Peter and Lisa. Married, 2 kids, both working. They drive new SUVs, live in a beautiful home, and everything looks great. But behind the scenes, it's stress. Credit card debt, car loans, zero savings. They're living the dream, but it's all financed. They tell themselves, this is just what life costs. Everyone's doing it. But that's the sidewalk mindset talking. They're measuring their success by stuff, not by freedom. And eventually, the stress becomes resentment. Money fights, burnout, exhaustion. What if, instead, they learned to build assets? What if they redirected even half their energy into something that grows? The sidewalk robs you silently, because it looks normal until it's too late. Here's the wake-up call. Being on the sidewalk doesn't mean you're lazy. It means you haven't been shown a better path. And that's what this book is doing. If you want real wealth, you've got to stop being owned by your lifestyle. You've got to start thinking long-term, even if that means making sacrifices today. It's not about suffering. It's about strategy. And strategy means creating space. Space for saving, space for investing, space for learning how to build the fast lane. You don't need to change everything overnight, but you do need to stop ignoring the signs. If you keep spending like you'll always earn more, you're won. Step away from losing everything. Let's summarize the Sidewalk Roadmap. It's living paycheck to paycheck. It's spending everything you make. It's hoping things go right instead of planning for when they don't. It's focusing on image over freedom. If you want to build wealth, the sidewalk is the first road you have to exit. Let me leave you with 3 questions. Number 1, if your income stopped tomorrow, how long could you stay afloat? Number 2, are you spending money to impress or to invest in freedom? Number 3, what one habit could you change this week to step off the sidewalk? This goal isn't to feel bad. The goal is to feel awake, because once you see it, you can change it. And that change? Chapter 6, the Slowlane Roadmap. Let's talk about the slow lane. Now, if the sidewalk is chaotic, the slow lane seems like the opposite. It looks responsible. It looks smart. It's the plan most people are praised for following. You go to school, get a degree, land a job. Then you save 10%, invest in retirement accounts, and hope everything goes according to plan. This is what we're told to do. But what if I told you this safe path is actually the most dangerous of all? In this chapter, MJ DeMarco breaks down the truth about the slow lane, and I'm telling you, it's eye-opening. The slow lane is built on one idea. If you sacrifice now for long enough, you'll be free later. Work for 40 or 50 years. Save. Budget. Avoid risk. And maybe, just maybe, you'll retire with enough to enjoy your life. Sounds reasonable, right? But here's the problem. It takes the most valuable years of your life and puts freedom on hold. It gives away your energy, your time, your creativity, and tells you to enjoy what's left decades later. This path is slow. It's built for average. And worst of all, it's not guaranteed. What if the market crashes? What if you get sick? What if the money doesn't stretch? The slow lane feels safe, but it's based on things you can't control. Example 1. Single man working hard, waiting too long. Let me introduce you to Ryan. He's 37. Works in finance, makes decent money, drives a reliable car, lives in a modest apartment, and maxes out his retirement account. He's doing everything right, according to the system. But every day looks the same. Commute, work, commute, eat, sleep, repeat. His dream? Travel the world, write a book, start a podcast. But he always says, someday. Ryan is living for a retirement that may or may not come. Meanwhile, the things he wants most are passing him by. That's the pain of the slow lane. You trade your life now, hoping for a life later, and time doesn't refund. Example 2. Couple with kids, playing it safe but feeling trapped. Now meet Josh and Amanda. 2 kids, good jobs, nice house, no time. They've done what society said was right. College, careers, retirement plans, but they're exhausted. They work all week, then try to catch up on weekends. Their dreams are parked. Their passions feel distant. Amanda used to paint. Josh wanted to start a tech company. But there's always something more practical to do. They're not failing, but they're not living either. The slow lane tells them they're winning. But deep down, they know something is off. They don't want millions. They just want time. presence, options, and the slow lane doesn't offer that. Here's what the slow lane teaches. Work hard, avoid risk, trust the market, and in 40 years, you'll have freedom. But MJ DeMarco asks a bold question. What if that's not freedom? What if that's just a slow version of being stuck? The slow lane puts all your power in external hands. The market, the company, the economy. It tells you to wait while life passes by. But here's what you need to hear. You don't have to live small now to live big later. You don't have to trade your best years for a maybe. The fast lane isn't about skipping the work. It's about making the work count. You can build freedom while you're young. You can design a life that isn't postponed. You just need a new roadmap. Let's make this simple. The slow lane is the plan most people follow. It's slow, it's safe, and it promises freedom. Someday. But that someday isn't guaranteed. And even if it comes, it costs decades of your life. If you're tired of waiting, this chapter is your permission slip to stop hoping and start building. To stop surviving and start designing. Here are your reflection questions. Number 1. Are you delaying your dream life in the name of being responsible? Number 2. If the market crashes or your job disappears, is your freedom still intact? Number 3. What would it look like to build a plan that works before you're 65? The slow lane is familiar, but it's not your only option. You're allowed to want more, and you're capable of creating it. Let's keep going in the next chapter. We're digging into why the typical retirement plan fails. You've just taken the first steps towards seeing the world and wealth in a whole new light. You now understand why the traditional path doesn't lead to freedom. You've seen how the sidewalk and slow lane keep people stuck. And more importantly, you're starting to see what's possible beyond them, but this was just the beginning. In the next episode, we're diving deep into the mindset and mechanics of the fast lane. How to stop trading time for money, how to build value that multiplies, and how to create a business that gives you back your life. If you're ready to shift gears, episode 2 is where it starts to move fast. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you there.